Build procedures, train relentlessly, and empower your team to act without hesitation. I find it fascinating that real estate is one of the only industries that has no documented procedure on how to do their profession. Most brokerages and teams, you walk in the door and their training procedures or protocol or game plan is here's a phone, here's a list of leads, go to work. No proven repeatable process with a predictable outcome for the team leaders and business owners. You're better off just going to Las Vegas, Reno, or Atlantic City and go gambling, because that's basically what you're doing. Life is like a box of chocolates. You'll never know what you're going to get next. Well, that's how teams are running their businesses, because they recruit an agent, they bring them on, and let's see. And it's quite the cop-out to say you can't predict who's going to be successful and who's not going to be successful. Although that is true, because even the best interviewing person may fail to make a phone call because of fear and anxiety, while someone else might not even care and get on the phone and win big, even though they don't know how to sell real estate. But I know this for a fact, that if you have a manual, a standard process for training your agents, you can predictably know where your business is going. I know for a fact how much an agent is worth to my team. Counting the top agents that make $300,000, $400,000 a year, and the bottom agents that might make zero and not even last through the training, not even last through the onboarding process. But I know, because I've done it so many times on the same standards and the same procedures, how much they're going to make to the team. I don't know which one's going to go big and which ones are going to fail, but I do know if I get 10 agents through my system, it's worth a certain amount of money. And that's how you run a business. Now, a lazy naysayer will say, this is a cop-out. There's no right way to do it. There's no right model. There's no right procedure. So they don't do anything at all. That's wrong. And it's costing them millions. And in fact, most teams, they're failing to make money, honestly. Outside of their personal production, they're struggling. I mean, that's part of the reason we built the Reside platform, because we wanted a proven, repeatable process backed by SOP, standard procedures, and outlines for you to follow. And then you have the other side of the naysayer, the person with the 972 checkpoint onboarding process that is so large that no one can ever get through it. So there is a right way, and it's somewhere down the middle, and that is have a step-by-step process for your people to follow on the buyer side and the seller side. A process that if they follow those steps, it will produce an outcome. And what outcome do we want to see? Well, we want to see buyer service agreements, buyer rep agreements. We want to see listing agreements. And then from that point on, after the agreement, that's when your staff take over. That's when your listing coordinators take over. That's when your transaction coordinators take over. But for your sales agent, your outside sales agents, they need a step-by-step process to get agreements signed. From agreement to close, there's so many variables that are outside our control. I'm not too worried about that. I'm not really focused on that. I'm focused on acquiring clients. And then my staff and my core are going to execute those clients and produce a result that they're looking for. And then past that step, we're going to have after sales plans to turn clients into repeat clients, to referral raving fans. So having a step-by-step process is absolutely a must. And basically, it gives you the game plan and blueprint to what to train on every single day. I opened my company in 2011, November 2011, opened our doors March of 2012. And I've trained my agents every single day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 days a week since that time. Nearly 14 years of training, 4 days a week. And what do we train on? The step-by-step process. Because when an agent is outside your vision, outside of your accountability, your observation, and that's 99% of the time, at home, nights and weekends, they will fall to the level of their training. So have your training backed by a procedure.